record this. Okay. In your company, the organization, they are in a strategic planning period, and they want to use this data to kind of plan in kind of restructuring the organization in terms of their employers. So they want to relocate some employer, those working from home, to the office back home. They terminate some people. They're trying to like just restructure the organization. Now, the requirement is now letting you know that we have some of the business units, which are IT, finance and budgeting and supply. So they gave us a clue where their IT location are, which is California, Georgia, New York, and Texas. So in this location is where they want to put their IT. Okay, anybody in this location that is not in the IT, that person might have to relocate or whatever decision they come up with. And they gave us a whole long list of requirements. So now, if you look at this place here, this is where the requirement really started from, this place here. They said the planning committee is interested is or are, whatever, interested in knowing the unique employee counts by years and year quarters by now it might give you some information, core location, which they listed all the core location out, and other, the rest of these non-core, work from home, and if some calculation meets this specification, then they want to see the number of employee in the data science and digital. So we have to create some kind of V's to show the number for Maryland, Kentucky, and all that. But they also letting us know that this Maryland, Kentucky, Washington, Pennsylvania, and Oregon, these are their core location. Every other ones are not core. But if you look down here again, in this non-core location here, we have to further categorize those people under those places in non-core by this other calculation. So if number one condition is met, that one is, those group is called approved. If number two condition is met, those are exception. If number three condition is met, those are severiance, which means they want to terminate them. And if this else, every other thing should be not approved. So maybe so that any employee in that falls within those not approved location, which means they are in the location that the company will no longer approve for their employment. So it's either they relocate to approved location, or they can make their choice to say, okay, I want to give me some time to leave, whatever. Okay. Then the requirement two here, the unique count of employee, percentage of total by year and quarters, and then the national core location. Now they are telling us to group all of the core location together as core location. That was the calculation Victor did, core and non-core. That can be useful here, but remember, you have to add this also into the same field so we can put them all together and break down the number altogether. Okay, you are in the right place. So let's
W and H.
Work at home or work from home.
Oh, sorry. Okay, thanks. Good.
Okay. Okay, so now let's take, we know that in this IT here, if you look at our requirement here, it said if non-core is in IT or in finance, so we know that we're going to need this calculation here in our further calculation. We can go by our normal way of writing if state is California and this and this and this and that, then we come down to finance, and if Alabama, Delaware, we can use that same calculation, but that would take us time. And when you have an error, it might be difficult to trace where the error is coming from. So the easiest way to try to deal with these calculations in calculation is to first of all take a bit by bit and just nest them out like what we did yesterday or like what Victor did. So we know that IT is in California, Georgia, New York, and Texas. So let's create something like IT flag to have this group on their own so we can easily pull them into a further aggregation or further calculation in the future. Like when we get to this place where we have to like nest IT, non-IT, budgeting and all that into this other calculation. So like Victor did, let's create our IT. Let's call this IT flag. For me, I'll stay with my convention IT flag, okay? So I can just try this calculation and just share it with you, or just go ahead and start writing your own calculation to save some time. IT flag is California, New York, and Texas. So what I would normally do, I'll bring in my states into my view here. So I can see.
There are 4 of them.
Yes, 4 of them. So I will bring in here, I can go to filter here. I'm looking for California, right?
Yes. Georgia.
California.
Georgia, New York,
Georgia,
Texas,
New York,
and Texas.
and Texas. So these are the IT. So the reason why I'm doing it this way, because I want to see exactly the same way they are spelled in my field. So just drag this here. If this equals to California. So if everybody go ahead and start writing your calculation.
What of people that are finished?
Okay, if you finish, then you can watch.
Like Uncle Victor and Atejiro.
Or I can bet you they're gonna have to do some parts.
Okay. You know. I like that part.
Or state equals to
IT flag.
Georgia, or state equals, I know Ejiro was trying to shine yesterday. That was what she said. Please send to us on time. So she can come through here and show some.
I will shine.
That's why I said I like this part.
Okay, this equals to what now? Texas. Then I want to just use a simple number that I can easily use. I'll call it 1, else every other thing is 0. And so let me double check. California, Georgia, New York, and Texas. So I click OK. So I'll just drag this in here and remove this from the filter. I will just test my flag, show filter. If I uncheck 0, I should have only 4. Nice, so this is working. The same thing I will do for my, what's the other hub? Finance. I'll just copy this for you.
Budgeting. Oh, finance.
Yeah, I can just call this F and G flag. No, see yourself sometime. This is Alabama, Delaware, and
Florida.
Okay. If state equals to Alabama, or state equals to Delaware, or state equals to
Florida.
Oregon.
Florida.
Okay, Florida.
Yeah.
Florida. Then one else zero and okay, I'll drag this into my dimension here, show my filter to test. I want only zero. Nice, so it's working. Okay, and then lastly, for what now? Management, supply management, Idaho and Illinois. So supply flag. Dada, are you writing your own calculation?
Well, I'm on the first one. I'm following up with the second one. I just completed.
Idaho. Okay. States equals Illinois. And one as 0. And okay, so let's test this. Oh, so something is missing, right? So I didn't spell something right here. So let me edit. My Idaho is right. The Illinois.
Illinois. Double L-I-N-O-I-S.
Supposed to be
Okay.
OIS.
Okay, all right, nice, thanks. Okay, let's click OK now, and let's see. Nice, so you see why it's good for you to test your calculation? At least you know everything is set. Now, good. All right, we're done with that. So are we okay with this? With this first calculation?
Can I see the second calculation?
Yeah?
Can I see the second calculation?
We can't hear you, Dada.
Oh, sorry. I was asking, can I see the second calculation?
For the F&B, finance and
Yeah.
budgeting, it's just the
Yes.
same. Alabama, Delaware is all in your requirement.
All right, just okay. All right, just
Okay. Now, what is the order? Now, this head, the planning committee want to see. So, which means if we bring in our state here, they want to see all of these states: Maryland, Kentucky, Washington, Oregon, and then all core, along with work from home and data science. And then they want to like see the year here and the quarters. So 13 in quarters, 14 in quarter. They want to see only these attributes here, only these attributes. So they want to see how those attributes breaks down our employee. So how many employees do we have? We don't have no measure for employee. So how do we get the employee calculation? If you look at the data, we have employee ID and employee name. So let's test that. If you drag in your employee ID, we have 793 employee. If you bring in your first your employee name, you should have the same thing because For every employee, there is an ID. So we can either use either of these, either the employee name or employee ID to count how many employees we have. So we all know how to do that by using the either the count D, the unique. So the requirement says unique, so it has to be count D. Every employee once. So we just call this number.
I didn't get this particular place here.
What?
Can you repeat this page again, please?
Which page? This one, this data here?
Yeah.
Okay, I will do it again, but let's do our employee count first, so I don't have to go back again. We call this employee, number of employees. And we use the count D of, let's use the employee ID or the employee name. It doesn't matter, it's still going to give you the unique. So if I bring in this right here now, and let's see this. So we have that in first quarter of 2010, we have in Florida have 10 employees, this one have this one have that, and so on. Nice, so things are looking good. So Victor, you were saying how I got here?
Yeah.
We are just testing, so we bring in our state into the view, and bring in this date function here, our date, into the view. So because we have 4 years data, it automatically gives us the year for each of the data. And then I just expanded this to include the quarters. And you can also expand this to include the months. I can keep expanding, but that's not what we're looking for here. The requirement says only the year and the quarter. Okay. All right. So are we all on the same page here?
Yeah, I'm sorry, my system got shut down. I'm starting all over again.
Your system got shut down? Okay, all right. Because we want to get into where we will write the calculation to pull all this together.
Let's see your employee count again, please. Okay.
So are we all set? Ejiro,
yes.
Have you written your calculation for this?
Yes.
So share your screen. Let's see how you did it.
I'm sorry, what was the question?
Who's asking this question now?
Is it Jiro?
Assistant professor.
Oh,
it's okay.
I said we have to write a calculation to pull all this into one field, so we can analyze them side by side.
Oh, we're supposed to put everything into one field.
Everything will be in one field. So if you drag everything, if you pull in the field in the worksheet, it populates all this information from you.
Okay, I didn't put everything into one field, but I can modify my calculation while I'm showing the class.
Okay.
Please bring it on.
Okay, go ahead.
Assistant prof.
Oh. All of a sudden, she just went quiet.
No, I was looking at what the prof was doing.
Okay.
Wait first, let me look at the, okay, call location. So it's asking for call location. So no, I did
look at the requirement. Go back.
Yes, I know, Professor, I know. I did I did for the call location first, so I'm going to add the other calculations to it. It says Maryland, Kentucky, Washington, Pennsylvania, Oregon are call locations. So these are the call locations. Now it says all other states are non-call.
Can I see your calculation, please?
Okay, so here I'm going to remove this else and put else if.
Remember, for Maryland, in this view, we want to show it as Maryland. For Kentucky, we want to show it as Kentucky. Washington, we want to show it as Kentucky. Then for all other non-core, you call them non-core, and then you add the work from home and all that in this calculation. So where this one comes handy is in this second calculation. Okay.
Okay, so I'm modifying my calculation. If state is equal to Maryland, then Maryland.
Yeah.
Or
Okay.
state equals to Kentucky, then
that's not going to work. Remember, each statement, since you are identifying Maryland on its own, that's a separate statement. You have to write another condition.
Else
for Kentucky.
if.
Yes, as if. Just bring it down so you don't have to, yeah.
Else if state equals to Kentucky, then Kentucky. Else if.
That calculation, just call it core because so it doesn't confuse.
Okay.
Yeah.
Else if state equals to Washington, then Washington. Else if.
Sorry, Ejiro.
Yes.
You are editing your core location, eh? So I think you're supposed to like create another calculated feed for core. But
No.
what you're doing now is like you're editing your core location.
No. This is, I was trying to answer the question that Professor says we should answer. That's why I have this location. But from his explanation now, I'm answering it. That's why I'm modifying it.
Oh, I thought core location is supposed to be separate. Then the one that combines everything will be another one too. Another calculation entirely.
No, everything is supposed to be inside one calculation.
Okay, is it there? Is Loki there?
Yeah, I'm listening.
I thought what she said was like, okay, core location is a separate calculation on its own. Then we now have another calculation that will now combine everything. And we should call that core.
No, I say rename the calculation feed that she's writing on. Just call it core because it comprises of core location and non-core.
Core. Okay. So we will do with the initial one we did. That is the core location. We're going to delete that one.
You can just leave that for now. Let's just stick with the way we're going. That was why I said some of the calculations that you've written before, you have to modify them.
Okay.
Okay, so since you see what Ejiro is doing, you can just watch her, what she's doing, and if you all agree, then she can copy the code and give to everybody, or just start writing your own and just following her. You see the same process.
I think we wait for her to finish, then I think that will be fair. We can quickly grab it and move on, but we'll watch.
But I would like your contributions to Professor Dada.
Yes, madam. I'm still trying to write first one. So I said my system shut down, so it's just coming up right now. So I'm trying to do the initial one. Do you understand? So I'm not even looking at what you're doing right now. I'm sorry, brother.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, so for the other core,
will not be S if state equals to, let me see. Other core, that's how many states? That's a lot of states, eh?
That's, yes, a lot of states.
That's a lot.
Else.
Can you not say S other core?
Then can we now put and?
No. How would you put and again? I thought you should have been saying if core location is Maryland or something, then others will now be not core. I thought that's how you should have written it.
Then non-core.
Okay, we're supposed to bring in work from home.
Exactly.
So can we now say
And
Okay, getting confused.
And
if Professor,
if segment minus home,
and if segment
Just write your calculation. I'm watching. If it's correct, we will know, right?
and if segment minus
if
home,
segment is greater than or equal to
Look at the requirement too. They say where segment work at home is where segment is home office.
Is this is home office or minus home office?
It's not minus. I'm just that hyphen there in English. Hyphen does not mean minus in English construction. It's just telling you a continuation of that. If it in mathematics, then it is minus. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Please ask a question.
Yes.
Okay.
So in this part where we have non-core and core, right? If we're bringing in else non-core, why didn't we say if core is Maryland, then Maryland? And then when we get to this part, we now say else non-core. Why are we putting?
There's no core inside states. If you drag the states to the rows now, you would see Maryland, Kentucky, you'll see the names of the states. So you're calling out those names of the states you're calling them out. Now, at this end, any other state that has not been called out should be called non-core. That's what that means.
Okay.
Do you understand?
I'm trying to. Maybe when you are done.
Okay, let me drag the states to the rows. Inside all these states now, there's nothing like core.
Core, okay.
Or non-core. But they have identified that their core locations are Maryland, Kentucky, and so you're calling them out. You're calling out Maryland, and you're calling out Kentucky, and you're calling out Washington, and you're calling out Pennsylvania. Has core. But the other states, you can as well list out the other states and say Alabama non-core, Arizona non-core, but you just group everything and say else non-core. Else, any other one that is not part of this ones listed is non-core.
Then work from home.
Are we true? Are we true? Are we true?
No.
Is then work from home, is it not?
Yes. Work from home. And if
data science.
If data science and digital equals to what?
Category minus technology. No, sorry, category. Is this minus or hyphen like you said?
No, if category is equal to data science, right?
No, I think data science is where category is technology.
equal to
Technology.
technology.
I said always try to drag in the dimension on the view so you see how it is spelled in there, so you can always, you don't have to go back and start troubleshooting again. It saves you some time.
Yes, yeah, okay.
I have this here, so I'm going to delete this one.
So something is wrong.
There's something wrong here. It says expected end to match.
Now I know why. Now you are on the right track, okay? And this is the reason why I'm coming up with this kind of requirements. Each of these conditions should be a statement on their own. Okay, so let me share my screen. Ejiro, excellent job. You did well, but all you just need to like separate your condition. So let me share my screen now. Dada, are you there?
Yes, I'm where you.
I'm not championing here. So while you guys were doing that, I was writing my own calculation. So this is it right here. So if state equals Maryland, just give us Maryland. So that's what we're saying. If state is equals Kentucky, just give us Kentucky, and so on. Then if you see here, as if I change my or where I'm pulling my data from, that's just what you have to do. If segment equals home, then call it work at home. Else, if category equals technology, then call it data science and digital. Else, call everything non-core. Yeah. So everybody adjust your calculation.
Can you copy it and send it to us, please?
No, write it. Write it. But okay, but you can write this now, right? I don't just want you to copy it, but when you write it, it sinks into you. Or you are looking at the long statements. Now, you see that we've not even made use of our flag. When we get to, remember, we still have to pull out some group of people from this non-core here. So those people that are grouped as non-core, we still have to pull them out from here using those other logic that we are provided with. And as we walk through this requirement, also try to understand this. So if you're asked to explain your most complex requirement, or you're trying to explain in an interview your most complex requirement, this is one of it. You can just explain to them what you did, how you did it, how you nest those multiple calculations into one another. They're just trying to see how well you can write calculations based on logic. Are we through with this?
Almost.
Are we finished?
No.
Okay, shall we proceed?
Yeah.
No.
Dion, are you okay with this?
Yes.
So do you understand this calculation in line with these requirements?
Yes.
So it's very simple, just to understand and to understand how you will easily do it. We are doing well so far, okay? And then we have to come down here now and here.
Okay.
Victor, are you through?
No, I'm not.
How far are you? How many more minutes? 1 or 2?
2.
Okay. Hey, Jiro, how about you?
I'm done.
So if you choose with your calculation, go ahead and drag it into the view. Make sure you have all the members of the requirement in your view.
Okay.
Remember, after writing your calculation, always test it to make sure you have all what you need there.
This is Pennsylvania and our for.
Your Pennsylvania is not there,
Yeah, it's not there. It's not in the game.
so you misspelled it. That's why it's good to look, try to pull it into the view so you see how it's spelled. It saves you time. Okay, Victor, are we done now?
If it's not coming up, I don't know why.
Share your screen.
Okay.
You should be able to look at what you did and know why it's not coming up. You must have spelled something wrong.
Okay, let me share.
See, you have on your work from home, you're missing a quote.
Oh, okay. Okay, thanks.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You're missing something. 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Okay, let me stop sharing.
Okay. But I think you're missing something. Your data science.
Yeah, the category, I know.
Okay, all right.
Lucky, can you let me check what I'm missing here? Let me check what share.
Okay, share quickly. Share.
Okay.
Now, Ejiro and Dion, since you understand the logic, so if you want to go ahead and start writing this other one, and just call it other core details for the calculation for this, you can call this other core details, for example, or just call it non-core details. Okay. What did you do?
This is my screen, but I can't find technology. Technology is not coming up. Technology.
It's not
Then
technology that is
look
supposed to
at
come out.
Look at your requirement, Dada. Look at your requirements. Where are you supposed to pull your technology from?
From category, Dada.
Your work from home is supposed to come from segments,
Segment.
not states.
Okay.
Actually, what are we doing number 2? Is it the requirement 2 that we're talking about now?
No, the second there is another calculation there. Okay.
No.
All right. Thanks, Ada.
Can
you see my screen? Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, so let's quickly start bringing in answering some of this requirement, and then we'll make the adjustment as we go on. So this first one here, the planning committee is interested in seeing the unique count of employee by year quarters by this following calculation, which we did. So let me bring in my year to my column, and I'll just spread this to my quarters, and then I'll bring in my employee count to my test. Okay, and I can just show, I can go to my analysis and show grand total. So you can see that this is how Kentucky, Maryland, and compare those in data science and those working from home. So we have this requirement. This is what they want to see. Now, if you look at the requirement, they also want us to break this non-core down. They want to see something inside this non-core to further extract some of this data from this row, from the non-core. Okay, so everybody, you can go ahead and do this, bring in your year quarters and core and your employee. This is very simple. And we can take the other requirement.
I don't know why my quota is showing something else.
Check it, find out what you did wrong. Check your calculation. Does it look like what I have here? If it doesn't, do you have everything I have here?
No, I'm talking about the quota.
This one here?
No, the one on the column.
This one here? Share your screen, Victor.
Okay.
No, it's on your quota is on continuous.
Victor, look at what you did wrong. Clear your dashboard and check what you did wrong.
Okay.
Drag your number to text.
Huh?
Your number of employee, drag it to text. Employee or measure.
Okay, thank you, Dada.
Always try to look at your requirements so you don't ask questions that people look at you as saying, this is very simple, okay? Just look at your requirement and try to checkmate it with what you have. Now, in this core here, the way I did mine in the real world, I created like a hierarchy so that from the same view, you can expand this and see these other requirements, these other ones here that they are looking for, and you can also collapse it. So first of all, let's try to create our calculation first. And we're going to call this what? Our non-core details. Okay, so what does the requirement say? This is our first one here. It says if non-core is in IT and budgeting and finance, and segment is corporate and consumer, and category is not technology, then those ones that fall within that category, those are the approved. Do we get it?
Yeah.
So now, since we already have our IT flag, our finance flag here, so it is easier for us to just call without having to write out all these long states, all those different states. So to write somebody can help me here while I'm trying to write the calculation, okay? First of all, if IT flag, right, equals what here? 1. Right? Because we know that those locations here in the IT here, they say if non-core is in IT. So if any of these non-core here, non-core member falls within our IT state. Remember, we don't have our IT state in the core location here. So if they are in the IT state and they meet other criteria, they are core approved. So the requirement says if they are in IT, F&B, management supply, then we just want to call this, if this equals to 1, and because I'm pulling from 2 different tables now, I'll use and. What's the next one? F&B. F&B equals 1 because we know that if it is 1, if they are in there. And what's the next one? Supply flag equals 1. Here you can just break them down like this, so you don't have to I keep typing. Just write it like this. It's up to you. It's the same thing. Then they have other conditions that they pass in here, and segment is what? Corporate and
consumer.
And consumer. So here, let me open a new sheet here. If I bring in my category, sorry, segment, right? So where those people meet corporate and consumer here, so they want to pull in these 2. So you can say, you can write it and, where segment equals consumer or where segment equals corporate. You can write it like that. But to me, I'll just take the shortcut. Since we have 3 members in this field here, and they're only looking for 2. I'll just use the word greater than or equals, greater than or less than what now? Home office. Because I'm not looking for that. Do we understand that?
Yes.
Victor, do you understand that?
Yes.
You can just write it the normal way, where segment equals to consumer or where segment equals to corporate, and just keep on. But since we have only 3 members and I'm not looking for home office, I'll just use where it is greater than or less than home office. It's still going to give me the same thing. And what is the last condition? And where category is not technology. So we can also use the same logic here. And category is, let me bring category into the view. So I'd like to see what I want to write. Category is not technology. So which means I'll see use greater than or less than what? Technology. I'm not looking for technology. Did you spell that right? Technology. Then what is this called?
Approved.
This is called approved.
Oh, okay.
So all this, any of the employee that meet this condition, they are approved. Okay.
Else.
Now give a space. I'd like to just put my end function here so it can be checking my statement and telling me if I'm on the right track or not. So this is condition 1. Else if, then we now go back in here and look at our next condition for the exception. So what is the condition for the exception here?
If non-core is not IT or not finance or not budgeting or not supply management and segment is corporate, that is exception.
Exception. So how do we write that here?
If segment is corporate.
Else if IT is equal to 0.
Absolutely, because
Okay, we're going to rewrite it again, but now equal to 0.
Yeah, if IT equals 0, because where it is IT is where we have 1. Every other one, they are not IT.
Okay.
Is that confusing? Remember, our IT location here, our IT location is California, Georgia, New York, and Texas. So if it is not IT, all this one here are equals to 1 in our calculation. All the other ones that are not IT is 0. So if I say it is not IT, I can just select 0. It will give me where it is not any of the states, because I have grouped all the states under 1.
Yeah.
Victor, is it clear?
Yes.
Leon, is it clear?
Yes, it's clear.
Okay, all right. So, and what now?
And finance and budgeting.
F&B.
Equals 0.
0. Awesome. And
supply management.
Supply management.
Equals 0.
Equal to 0. Then corporate.
And segment is equal to corporate. Then exception.
Because of our time, I'll copy this and share it so we can have it. But understand what we're doing here. So even though you are copying, you know what you are copying. Okay. Then this is what?
Exception.
I didn't know that. I thought we'll have to write it again. Like you just go straight and write the exception. Segment is equal to corporate. And go ahead.
It's because we have created a flag. So now we don't have. Now imagine we didn't create a flag this way. We'll have been writing if state equals to California or equals to Georgia or equals. We just keep writing or then we will now add all this one there. It will take you a whole lot of time. But because we have created a flag, it's easier for you to just pull in using this simple flag because you have already defined this hub location. If you're okay with writing it the normal long traditional way, go ahead. But this is one of the easiest way. At least you know that the calculation in here is correct. You've tested it. So if you are pulling 1 or 0, you know that you are pulling the right information. But if you have to write it out manually again, over and over and over and over again, chances are that you will make mistake, and then you start going back to trace where you make your mistake, which might take you a whole lot of time and delay your project delivery. Okay.
Yeah. Lucky.
Yes.
I just want to ask, when we say if IT is equal to 1 and all of those things, why is it that we did quote the 1, as in have a quotation mark on the 1?
Because it's not a string, it's an integer.
Look at your. We use it here, even though we use it as a dimension. It's still showing up this pound, so it's still showing up as an integer, but it like a string. If we change this now to, like, say we change it to a string, then we will have to quote that one.
Okay.
Yeah, so just understand the behavior of this.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
So let's quickly continue. What is the next one here?
Else if.
Okay, we've done this. Okay, else if what?
IT is equal to 0.
IT flag equals to 0.
And finance is equal to 0.
So it says not, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And supply management equals to 0.
F and B. And
Supply management equals to 0.
okay, what's the last one?
Segment equals to consumer.
Did you spell it right? Then what is this?
Severance.
Severance.
So what does that mean?
Terminate.
Termination.
So may we not fall under severance?
Amilo Kodesu.
No, you know, see, I did this kind of reports, and my colleague, I became like, you know, FBI. Nobody knew about this report, but I was looking at some colleague like, man, because I know what was happening. You know, I did the report, I did the calculation, I know. And even when we are playing ping pong or playing pool, I was like, man, you know, I wish I could help, but I can't, you know. So what is the next condition?
Else not approved.
Not approved. So every other thing where in this no, something is wrong here. Something is wrong here. Who can tell me what is wrong? Look at the requirements. Even though this calculation is valid, but we are not pulling the right data.
From where?
Look at the
Supposed to be
requirements.
saying greater.
No, everything here is right, but we are not pulling the information from where the users want us to put the information.
Let me see.
Look at your requirement. Everybody look at your requirement. Whoever get this, I'm going to give you like a write-off from what you owe. A0, if you get it, you will have to pay me back some money.
I was just about to talk.
No, I'm kidding, but look at your requirement. 2 minutes.
It's saying something about non-call location.
No, exactly. Non-call location need to be further categorized in the line of organizational plan.
Okay, so what is wrong in this calculation now?
Let me see.
We have been using the core locations. That's what we've been doing.
That look at this, you know, that you are starting a job very soon. So look at this requirement. What is wrong? The calculation is right, but we are not extracting all this information from the right source.
Really?
From the right source.
Okay, can we say if state is, no, we can't say that. Well,
Look at your requirement. Look at your requirements.
Non-core needs to be further categorized in line the organization goal for planning. If non-core is in IT or finance and budget,
From that our core location, we're supposed to pull out non-core, but I'm wondering how we relate it to this calculation.
To the calculation.
From our core, we are supposed to pull out.
You are in line, but remember we have this non-core here.
Yes.
And they said that they wanted to like further extract some information from
there.
Remember, in this non-core, there are other states in this non-core. So what we have to do now is put in our condition here to say if, let me put this down. If this core here, our core
equals
calculation,
to non-core.
Exactly, equals to non-core.
I never have thought about it, so.
Some of you just miss money. I'm going to start issuing invoice this weekend, so some of you missed that opportunity. Now, if non-core is close to this, so this will be checked first, and now we're now bringing the AND function here. If IT flag equals 1, so because now we are pulling this information from the non-core. That's why I said name these non-core details. So we have to pass
this one is not working.
Huh?
No, I don't understand. This one just made it. I don't understand. Like, I mean, I don't understand this formula today. Where the core equal to non-core? Maybe I need to understand.
Okay, look at let me explain it to you. Look at the requirement. It says non-core location need to be further categorized in line with the organization goal for planning. Now, in this top calculations we did, we got a place where we have non-core. Inside the core calculations, we got others to be non-core, right? Else non-core.
This one right here.
So the company wants to categorize that non-core. Like, okay, they're not doing anything with the core now from this requirement. They want to work with the non-core, and the non-core has states in it, right? Okay, so now we are working with those states. So when we come to the calculation, we must include that non-core, then the other requirements that they want to get from that non-core. Do you understand? Okay, look at
okay, let
the
me
worksheet
copy
here. You see the worksheet here. It was core that was dragged to the row, right?
Yes.
And that's the non-core that is highlighted there. Now, they want to take out this non-core and analyze it.
They want
to extract information from that non-core. That's what the requirement is saying. So these other things on this dashboard, they are not asking for them. Is this non-core that they want details from, information from? And this non-core has states in it, because the state, we selected all these other ones from inside the list of states. Then we said else non-core.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, now we have to put in this calculation in all of our statements. Okay, let's do that. Else.
I want to ask a question before we proceed.
Okay.
Why don't we use if core is not equal, it's less than and equal to non-core?
That means you are saying you don't want non-core.
That means you
saying you want the other Kentucky, Maryland, Oregon, Pennsylvania, Washington.
All right.
We are saying where this non-core here where core is non-core here in this calculation, extract this information from there. If you can find all this information for this first statement, name it approved. Then look at the same non-core again. If you can extract all this information here, then name it this, and so on. So we're trying to now pinpoint. Now, just look at what the requirement said. Follow the requirement, you won't mix it. We are trying to further categorize our non-core in our core location. And they have given us the conditions to extract those information. And that's what we are doing. So you say if core equals non-core, and now listen, look at this first statement. If non-core, did you see that? So what is non-core here?
Is the one that we're looking for.
Absolutely. So if non-core is in, so that means we have to put this one in first, and then passing those logical expression to categorize what they want to categorize. So if you don't put in this non-core now, this calculation will pull out this information from the whole of the table. So it's not looking at this non-core, and that will give your users some wrong information. Victor.
Yeah.
I know that after this one now, you'll be calling me again. This is clear, right?
I don't understand how if core equals to non-core.
That is what you are looking at here. This is non-core. Okay, let me click OK here. This is non-core right here now. This is it. You did the calculation.
What I'm saying is, you're saying if core is equals to non-core in all this thing we wrote.
Because we remember this core here. Look at this core here.
Yes.
In this calculation that we wrote here, we have non-core. Every other state that does not meet this condition here, everything is put under non-core.
Okay,
so
I understand
we are now writing another calculation to look at all those that fall under non-core to extract some more information from it.
I understand now.
Dion, does that make sense?
Yes.
So ask question.
Yeah,
asking like yes.
Wait, I'll leave my yes alone.
It's very simple. Just understand, look at your requirement. Okay, what don't you understand, Dion? Since Victor
I understand now.
Remember, we wrote the calculations that if this state is Maryland, just give us Maryland. If this is Kentucky, give us Kentucky. And I will say every other state that does not meet any of this calculation, put them under non-core. So that is why you see that non-core has some kind of high number compared to other states. You see it because there are so many states that are grouped inside this non-core here. Okay, so now we wrote another calculation to try to extract some information from this non-core here using this other logic. Hello?
I'm here.
Dion,
can we see the calculation, please?
I will share the calculation with you, but let's understand this first.
Yeah, I understand.
Who asked you?
Just
the best.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, Dion, do you understand now?
Yes, it's okay. I'll go shoot the video again. I'll do it myself.
Okay, we'll practice again. Okay, all right.
Yes.
So let me.
Johnson, what did you say?
I said, who is asking you? Is me the asking? Is it your ask?
So let me send this code to everybody. So quickly copy it. I know A0 have our own already, so don't give to A0.
So we'll leave it up, because the way I called my this thing is different from yours. Like you said FB, mine is not FB. I wrote it completely. Yes, like
you can copy it and now change the FB, Victor.
Where's the chat here?
Okay.
Okay, so
like his IT.
So I sent it. Everybody copy it and let's create this. We still have one more calculation to go. So, but this is the most simplest. If you understand logic, you can write a whole program without knowing anything about that program. So as long as you understand how the logic works. And this is true. Like I said, nobody taught me this. There was no school that I said I want to sit down. Somebody taught me all this. Nobody sit me down and taught me all this. It was just logic. I knew that, okay, if this one is equals to this, I can pull it out. Then couple with some small videos I watch online. Then right now, I don't even need to watch any video. All I just need to understand is the logic that they are looking for. I have my own way of writing it, and I will get the same answer. Okay, are we through now?
Yes.
Okay, so now let's see how this calculation will behave. Let's drag it and put here. No, it shouldn't be, it should be under here. Okay, let me drag it off. Let me do all, I like to the way I did this in the real life, I created like a hierarchy. Okay, so let me drag this hierarchy not and put under this. Okay, I'll click OK. Oh, come on, click OK. Now let me see if I click this. It's not working the way I want. This should be under this I wanted this to be only here in this non-core only. Let's test our calculation first. Let me open a new, let me clear this place and bring in our calculation. So everything is under non-approved. So all our calculations fall under not approved. Let's test this. 73, and let's do our calculation here. So it's giving us only not approved. Let's see if our calculation is right. So if it's right, that means none of this meets any of this condition. That's what it means. So our non-core.
Okay, let me ask a question.
Okay.
That else if, where we have core equals to non-core, is it supposed to be there?
Which one?
You know, we already have if core equals to non-core. The second else if. No, I'm looking at the calculated field.
No, I want to see that. Else if.
That else if, is it supposed to be there?
Yes, it's supposed to be there because each statement is independent on its own.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Lucky, my own is showing exception, not approved, and severe.
Let me try mine.
I've not tried mine.
Share your screen. Let's see.
That has done something.
Okay, mine is showing the same thing too.
Mine is showing
exception, not approved, and
severance.
You can stop sharing. Let me just.
Okay.
How come it's Prof's on that is not showing? Prof will give us $100 if we show
I'm telling you.
Go back to your sheet one. Then drag the new calculation beside core in front of core. Yeah, just drag it in front.
It's not approved.
Okay, so it's supposed, yeah. Okay, so all right. So let me check what I did wrong. Yours is showing the same thing, right?
Yes.
Showing not approved, exception, severance.
And we have the same calculation.
Something is
give
wrong
us
with
our
your
money back. Did you hear that? She give us our money back. This is
Mine is showing a different thing. Eh?
Victor. Okay, Victor.
Can I share?
Yeah, share.
Can I stop sharing?
Yes, thanks.
Professor Dada, thank you.
Yeah, don't mention.
Dada T.
My guy. Victor, what's your showing?
Not approved.
Okay. All right. So let me check my calculation. We are having the same problem. So something I might have.
Mine is different. Mine is not even showing exception and the rest.
Yeah, that's fine. Let's troubleshoot our
Mm.
calculation. Normally, if the conditions are met, it will give you. If the conditions are not met, it will put everything under not approved. So since we are having the same, different results, what do we need to do? Let's troubleshoot our code.
Not approved.
Yeah, that's what you would do in the real world. Troubleshoot your code and see what you're doing wrong. Okay. My core here is let me remove this.
Yeah, Lucky.
Yes.
Your and from the second statement, the and is no.
No, that doesn't matter. It's still going to work. That one is just keeping. If this equals to this and this more is equals to this. Our non-core here, I spelled it right. Non-core. So why are we having different results?
Check your home office whether it's spelled correctly.
Okay, that's true. Edit.
Edit your call.
Okay, let me bring in this. Where's my technology here? CTHNOGY.
That's correct.
The home office.
Correct.
That's correct. The corporate.
Not funny that we copied your own and then ours is right and yours is wrong.
No,
the calculation for call. Let's look at
corporate. My corporate is right?
Yeah, I didn't edit. I just copied what you put up.
Consumer is
I
what?
edited some of mine.
Okay,
Just the supply management. Just the supply management because we named ours different. I named mine differently.
check the calculation for call.
Yeah, the call. This one is okay. I think I see because I have space in mine. See here? That's why. See, there was space there. There was space. See, I put space in there. I shouldn't put space. So Tableau is looking for non-core without space. With space. So let's see now. So if I bring this in the view here, so I have my severance, I have this. Okay, so it's working well. So we have a lot of not approved in Kentucky. We have some of not approved in many of this work from home. But here in the core, we can see that we have not approved. Let me do some, so you understand what the users are trying to see here.
Like I said, I don't have not approved in mine.
Then quickly share your code. You can see that I have issue, and I went back and I saw where the issue was. So share your code.
Okay, let me share.
He has not approved. What he doesn't have is exception.
Expand.
Why can't I expand?
Down the way you wanted to drag it down.
What is just missing, Victor?
I don't really know.
Exception. He has severance and he has not approved, but he doesn't have anything that has exception on his.
So how do you spell your C? Your non-core is 1 have hyphen, the other 2 have no hyphen.
Yeah.
So how do you calculate your non-core in your calculation?
Go to your core calculation.
No,
Yes, even from here itself, there's an issue.
No core.
First of all, go to drag your.
Let's see let's see that one.
You can drag that one to the sheet so that we see it. Pull down your calculated field window. Okay, so it's there. It's already in the field. So there's a dash. Why did you clear it now, Vicky?
Okay.
See non-core there. So there's a dash between non and core.
Okay, okay. Wow, no, wow. That's just it, eh?
That's it, sir. Click OK and check it. Let's test it.
Okay.
Everything is okay.
Yeah, good.
Everything is okay. We are all in the same page now, right?
Thank you.
Yeah.
But so far, you can see that sometimes you can write your calculation and it seems right, but something might trigger it not to give you what you want. You should be able to know how to go back and check your calculation. Like mine now, if I didn't know that space will give me error, I would not have known because I have space, but in my calculation I wrote for this other core, there was no space. So that can cause some differences. So let me bring this into here. So now we can see that in our non-core, how many conditions are met? Exception, not approved, severance. So none of this is approved. None of them are approved. Okay, all right, let's continue. Now, notice this not approved in all of these. That would be your assignment. We don't want any of this to be not approved. So as long as is core state, everything here should be approved. So pull away this into here or remove that not approved. So which means you have to adjust your calculation here to get rid of all this not approved, okay? So in the meantime, let's quickly conclude this. So we've answered these 2 requirements so far, all right? So now we can call this our, let's say, let's call this, what should we call these sheets? Let's call this workplace strategy, okay, WPS, and we will leave it. And maybe the users might want to be, they might need the option of trying to, or being able to filter by, let's say, by region. Let's give them that option for filter. Click OK. And let's give them, we already have the year here, but let's leave that for now. What other options should we give them for filter? What other option? Let's give them employee
name.
They might want to see a particular employee and see where that person is. Let's give them that option. And city, should we give them city? No,
The city is too much.
Yeah, it's too much. Okay, so we already have our segment and all that. We can also give them
category and segments.
Segment.
Let's just give them segments. Okay, you're going to give them a lot of filter, and let's also give them segments for now. Now, let me tell you the good news about something like this. The report which I did, which looks similar like this, since last year, April, May, I've been on it for now, and every time they'll tell me, okay, Lucky, refresh the reports. The ESCOs want to use the reports, and I'll refresh. That's all I've been doing on this report. Imagine how many minutes it took us to do this, and you just be there for 1 year, just refreshing and updating. But the challenge of getting here was a little bit tricky, which to me is more simpler as you get into more advanced analysis. Okay, so it's very simple. At first, you developing the report might be hard, but once you get it done, you have a whole lot of time on your side. Okay, so this is our first dashboard. It's ready. Now let's quickly conclude on our second requirement. Now they say they want all of these, our core location here, they want them grouped as what? Core, under core location, and then you should have every other thing like this non-core, work from home, and digital. So we have to create another calculation, right?
Yeah.
So basically, what I would do, I will call this, first of all, what I would do, I can just come to this core here and just duplicate. I'll duplicate it. Since the calculation here is, they're all the same, but they want to group all of these core states, Kentucky, Maryland, Oregon, everything under one heading now as core. So what you should see, they want to see core location, work from home, digital, and all that. That's all they want to see here. And besides, you can rearrange your view here by dragging them, okay? Kentucky, Maryland, and they want the work from home to be like below, just drag it and leave it. And they want data science to be before work from home, and then your non-core should be here. You can drag it and leave it like that, okay? You can rearrange it the way you want. So since I want to write another calculation to group all my core location as core location, which Victor did, but now we have to also add this. So the same calculation of getting this work from home, science, and non-core is the same. But what we just want to do is group this other state as one entity now, core. So it's going to be easier for me to do that. All I have to do is duplicate this. So I have my duplicate here, and I'll just go in here and edit. I'll call this core. I can call this core loc or whatever. Let's just call this. Let's just leave it for now, okay? Now, all this here, all this one here are all correct. So I still want these calculations in here, but now I want to group all these as one entity. So all I have to do is basically rearrange my calculation here and to say I'll remove these states. No, sorry. Control Z. Okay. I'll simply remove this and put in all here. Remove this. I'll put in all. Then I will now say I'll remove all this. I don't need all this. Now, this is my own lazy man way of not trying to rewrite everything again. Okay, I'll remove this. I don't need this. Yep, I'm right. I'll remove this as well. Then I'll just rename this as what? Core. Remember, look at our requirement again. Don't get confused now. They say core location. All core location group as core location. So what is our core location here? All these here, Maryland, Kentucky, Washington, Pennsylvania, Oregon. So this, they said group them all together as core location. So let me edit my calculation and call this core location. Do we get it? So I'm grouping all of this into core location here. And if I click OK, let me open another worksheet. Let me clear this one here. And I'll bring this in. You can see that we're going to have only core location, digital, non-core, and work from home. Remember the kind of logic that we did in the nuclear assignment, where we have core inside one of the core locations and have every other core broken down in the next charts. It's still the same thing here that we're doing. Hello? Hello?
Now we see that this thing again, please.
We're here. Can we see
Yeah,
the
but-
calculation
but-
again?
But do you understand this?
Maybe if we see the calculation, we understand.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, Jerome, you understand this, right?
Yeah, I understand.
Because it's just the same thing that we did in the nuclear assignment, where we group some location into one heading, and then in the next view we broke them down. It's still the same thing.
Okay.
So let me copy this and send to you, or do you want to do the lazy man gymnastics so you know how to do it? So everybody, do it the lazy man way. 5 minutes so we can quickly finish with this.
Yeah, we're doing it already.
Wow.
And Oregon is core location. Can I ask a question?
Yes, ma'am.
Why did you leave this ample amount of space here? Does it make any? Because I just wanted to be sure why you left this space so.
You mean this space?
After core location, right? Then else if. The
No,
space.
it doesn't matter. I was just trying to separate them. So Once I'm doing my cleaning, I don't mess up the other one. The space does not really affect. Only when you are calling, yeah, it doesn't really matter.
Okay. I just wanted to be sure.
Okay. There are places where the space matters if you are calling a member of any dimension or category. So you want to make sure you don't put in any space or whatever.
Okay.
Your okay.
Are we true?
Yes.
Dada, are you true?
Yes, I'm true.
Victor, are you true?
Yes, I am, but I'm not getting the same thing. That's I don't know.
You're not getting what we have on the view. Just look at what does your calculation match up with this.
Yes.
Okay, I'll share your screen.
I'm looking at the figure. The figure you have.
Don't worry about the figure yet. Do you have the same member?
Yes. Call. Let me see.
Give yourself some space. Okay, all right. So that's all that matters for now. Okay.
Oh, but the figure is different from what.
Don't worry. Don't worry. Okay. Don't worry. Okay. So let's click OK. Bring in your year and your call location to the field. Bring in your number of employee to your test. Go to your table calculation. Let me do this again so we all see. Just drag this into your test.
We are not seeing your
Oh,
screen.
sorry. Are you cursing now?
I'm sorry.
Okay, all right. So I'm clearing this again. You want to make this, remember the requirement says this should be unique employee count, percentage of total by year and quarter. So bring this here and change this into percentage of total. Okay, now we want each of the quarters to be 100% on its own. Right now, the calculation is just looking at across all of the data. So we want this to compute like this for this first quarter. Let me do percent of total here. So this grand total here, it should be 100%. This quarter should be 100% broken down by this. That's what we want. Right now, this one is just giving you the percentage across all of the years and across the data. So if that is what the user wants, give it to them. They might also say they want to see what percentage is the call location in the first quarter of 2013 across all of their business history. This is it. But we want this to be 100% here. So we have to change the way this calculation is working. So you go back in here and change compute using table down. So now this should give us 100%. So let's see if we have 100%. Can somebody do the calculation for us? Let me format this into 2 decimal places. Okay. We have 15.16 plus 67 plus 17. Does it add up to 100? No, it's more than 100, right? Right. Hello.
All right.
Does our calculation add up to 100?
It's more than.
It's more.
Okay, why is that? Okay, that's okay. That's here. We're going to use this to do what we call data validation. Okay, so for now, let's put this as workplace strategy core log, and then let's go to our dashboard and bring in our two charts. I'll bring this in here, and
I think I know why it is more than 100.
okay, that's the assignment for tomorrow. Okay.
You should just answered. I don't know what you are saying. You were you going to suggest?
What are we checking to see if it's 100 or not?
Where did you go?
Why is more than 100?
Hey, Jiro, just answer.
Period. You say you think you know.
Which one are we at?
Okay, the table down calculation, if you add the core location, data science, non-core, if you add everything, it's more than 100%.
So why?
So why?
Well, that's for you to figure out. That's the assignment.
Mine is 100% now.
So now put everything together on your dashboard and then bring in your filter. We have our reports. Then the next stage is to do some data validation. So we have our report. So this is almost 70% done, right? So let's bring in our filter. Everybody get to work, get to work. Let's finish this by today. So we know by tomorrow, we're going to be doing some data validation, and then we can do Tableau prep tomorrow and next. Then we go straight into interview and agile and the agile stuff. So I'm going to bring in our filter employee name. I'll use relevant data. I thought by now we all know what this does, this relevant data. If I click on relevant data, Ejiro, you know, right?
I'm sorry, what did you say?
If I click on this.
Things that you need, important data.
Absolutely, yes. So once you select a filter, anything that is not relevant to that filter, it will not bring it in. This is good for performance purposes. It doesn't change anything in your view, but it helps users to quickly see data that are relevant to their filter. We will see that in a minute. And apply this to all on dashboard. And then what other filter do we bring in here? Let's bring in our region. Relevant data. Slider. Apply button. Let's just bring in segment for now. It's okay. So we can bring in as many filters as you want. Now, if the purpose of that relevant data, let's say I select, look at the names that we have here now. See, we have a lot of long names. Now, let me say I select one name, for example. So this is this person here. So this person is only in 2013 and 2015 and is in the Washington, is here. For this year, this person was in Washington, and somehow it was in non-approved for that year, but in 2015, it falls under severance and so on. But if I come to the next filter now, I see that this person only appear in 2 locations. So all my other location will not show because those other 2 locations is not relevant to this filter that I select here. Same thing with segments. So segment, this person is in consumer. That's the purpose of that relevant data. It helps you bring in only filters that have to do with what you're seeing. Okay. I don't like this. Let me make this fit with. Okay, I'll make this fit entire view, and then you can move this elsewhere. Okay. I like giving my dashboard space, so if I see that the dashboard is looking too clustered, I'll move my filters around because I like to give my dashboard space. Okay, all right, and okay. Well, do we understand how we got here?
Yes.
Do we understand? Victor, do you understand how we got here? The report that we just created?
Yes.
Jean, how about you?
Yes.
Okay. Now, our assignment is, now, if you look at this non-core here, you can see that we have Kentucky here. Kentucky have not approved. We don't want any of this here, okay, not approved. So take this non-approved out of here. This other exception should only be in this non-core. Not approved should only be in this non-core. So which means Kentucky, those numbers falling under not approved in Kentucky should be approved. Okay, they should be considered as core, part of our core here. So pull those one out here and put them into Kentucky. So here should be blank. This area should be blank. We only want to see this information only in this non-core. You get it?
No.
Look at the view. You see in Kentucky, it has not approved. We don't want anything not approved in Kentucky or any of the core location, including data science and work from home.
What should it show?
It should be blank. It shouldn't have anything there.
Okay.
So we only want to see these other details where it is non-core. So all these other areas should be blank. For example, you can do some investigation by right-clicking on that data. For example, I can come here now and just right-click and click on View Data. And then you click on View Full Data. So you can see why this person is being categorized as not approved. So you can see that here, the flag is 00, right? And this other one is also 0, but because it's in Kentucky, and it does not, the condition here is met, but is in Kentucky. That's why it's pulling this person into Kentucky not approved. But the user says, so as long as this person here fall under Kentucky and Kentucky is a core state, leave it in core, okay? It should not be not approved. It should be part of core data or core figure, which is Kentucky. The same thing applies to Maryland. So this person here is being categorized as not approved because of this state, Kentucky. You can see here, core is Kentucky, and the non-core details here says not approved. So that is why it's pulling it there. So you have to like twist your calculation here to remove this person, this Kentucky, and put them into core here.
So the calculation that we are going to be twisting is which of those calculations?
You figure it out. That's your assignment. Figure it out. But here in the non-core is where we have this calculation, right? Okay. You get it? We get it?
Yes.
Or you can also do your calculation here in your core calculation. You can just add to this Kentucky here and say L, or if this equals to this, make it Kentucky. So you're going to pull it away from here and pull it along with Kentucky. And you do the same thing for Maryland and all that. There is no one way to do it, but just look at the logic that you can apply and do it. And the second
Can
assignment.
we conclude that the calculation is wrong?
No, it's just the logic. The logic is pulling. Remember how logic works. If the condition is not met, it will pull it into not approved, because we say else every other thing not approved. That's what we said. Yeah. So you have to like play with the logic. Therefore, this is not the grand total is giving us 100, but the addition is not coming up to 100. So you have to twist your calculation or find a way to make all this number add up to 100%. Okay. Find a way to make all these numbers add up to 100%. You can Google it, how to make percentage add up to 100%, or how to make percentage that is not adding up to 100% add up to 100%. Just try to do some research and follow it. Okay. But tomorrow we all do the correction. All right. You guys are not talking. What's going on?
We are here.
Dada, why now? Okay, all right. Any other question before we call it a day? There's a prize for this, though. I'm serious. There's a prize. Victor, are you okay?
Yeah.
All right. So, do you have any question before we call it a day? All right. Okay. Well, I'll see you tomorrow.
Good night.
Good night.